All right, where do you guys think the secret room is? So this is a house that I purchased a $250 option on about 3, maybe 4 years ago, and we closed on it just a couple months ago. So I have $250 out of pocket on this house to buy it. And we'll see what Eric and Sean think of a $250 house. This is a 6-bedroom, 2-bathroom, quarter lot home. I'm in the process of flipping it. The neighbor is supposed to list his at $160,000. I have a debt service on this, I think it's $65,000. So I have to repay $65,000 when we sell the house, but we should be able to make an incredible amount of money on this house. So let's go through it and look at all of the work that my contractor's done. So in this room, there was a boy that lived in here with some issues, let's say, and this room was just totally trashed. So we had to have a drywall crew come in and they had to redo practically all the walls in this room. There's also some other damage that was in the house. They had to redo some of the ceilings. I'm guessing we're probably gonna have $10,000 in re-drywalling it. So now we're at 75 grand. But the nice thing is we've got all this original woodwork from 1889, I believe. So the woodwork in the house is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm hoping that we can beat out the house right next door to it. I talked to the guy flipping it, and he's hoping for $159,000, $160,000. And I think that this one's going to be better once it's all said and done. But we'll be doing some videos on this one in the future of just the process of renovating a house and flipping it, and see how much money we can make off of it. My tenants that were in here had dogs while before we exercised our option on it. You can tell they had dogs because the dogs ate the blinds. This is like the worst smelling room in the whole entire house, and they're just gonna have to completely redo everything. I'm gonna have a lot of money in this room after it's all said and done. In Southern Ohio, there was a lot of underground railroad activity coming from the river in Portsmouth all the way up to Columbus. So you find a lot of these older houses, 150-year-old construction-ish, they have secret rooms in them. This house, I'll show you upstairs, has a secret room upstairs. It's kind of cool. This house is one of my maintenance crew's favorite places because there's a second kitchen on the second floor. So they have said to me they'd love to live here because they could just use the second floor kitchen for snacks. Noah was really impressed by this. It's a snack window. It connects the dining room to the kitchen, and you can pass snacks from one room to the other. Where do you guys think the secret room is, and how big is it?
It's definitely in there.
Yes, yeah,
this is locked. So it locks from this side. I don't know what they're locking out. How big do you think it is?
It's super hot up here.
Plywood over some of the windows because the kid they kept up here, they didn't want him to break through them. So with houses from the mid to late 1800s, they built them usually like in a hexagonal type shape. So what happens is you open up a certain combination of windows on the first and second floor, and it makes kind of like a vacuum, and it pulls the air from the cool ground up through the attic, and it disperses through the whole house. It's like an ancient air conditioning type system. It's really cool if you think about it because they didn't have any sort of cooling system back then. Hey guys, it's Brandon with Investment Joy. Do you ever wish that you had cash flowing businesses like me, like a laundromat or a car wash, a bunch of vending machines? We've got this great program called Ultimate Joy. It's a 12-month intensive coaching program taught exactly by me once a week. So if you've ever wanted to get this kind of coaching and training directly from me, check out Ultimate Joy, which is on investmentjoy.com. Book a call with one of the guys on my team today, and they'll go over all the information with you. Branches from these 2 maple trees are falling on neighbors' cars, like when we have windstorms and they want me to prune them. I'm probably better off served to just cut the trees down. And since it's a rental, it makes more sense from a liability standpoint. If we were to sell the house, make a lot more sense to just keep them here because they look great. From a liability standpoint, we might just have to cut them down. It'll cost me like $2,000, but hey, the house looks really nice.
These are big trees. So.
Yeah, they're just big giant maple trees. And I hate the idea of cutting trees down because being a maple tree, I think about, oh, you could turn it into a nice big guitar body. We cut them down. The cheap tree trimmers will not save it for those purposes. They cut it down the easiest way possible in gigantic chunks. What transpired between the last video and this one is Justin got up here and he put a gable vent in. There were 2 complaints about the inspections, and it's why it fell through. We offered to have inspections done on the house or fix the inspection issues. They just got out of the contract, so now we're relisting the property, very likely for more money. The biggest problem with this house was was a old porch that was annexed for additional living space on the home. There wasn't a footer under it, so we've dug a footer and we've got it poured. So that cost me $2,200, and I think that we might, I've got to talk to Terrell here in a second, but I think we're going to list it for maybe between $3,000 and $5,000 more. The house that we had just down the street, we listed for $89,000. We have a contract well over that, so we're going to get way over list price with no concessions, which is cool. So I just walked it. We're like missing one last thing and we're down to a furnace filter. House is great. We need a furnace filter, so we're going to run down to the hardware store here in town and grab a furnace filter so we don't fail an inspection. Where I just signed that as the listing contract, we upped it from $114,900 to $119,900 because pricing's up so much higher. And since this house is under $250,000, the market here in central southern Ohio hasn't been affected by the increase in mortgage rates. So I think that we can get more money out of it, which is cool. Sold the one next door to it that I paid $43,000 for. We sold it for $147,500, which was $7,500 over list price with no concessions. So I gave them a free home warranty. That's worth $7,500 to me. So we're gonna go look at the one we just put on contract, and I'm gonna go show you guys how we fixed the garage. So we're not trying to trap anybody outside. Come on in. Today we've got 2 buckets at the laundromat. One bucket has $60, $75 worth of dimes and nickels. For the kid upstairs, we've done really good with our vending machines. The deal is I give him the nickels and the dimes, so he made an extra $70 this week. And then I got quarters. We're going to do a money collection for the laundromat. And I think on the way back home, we're going to look at another laundromat that I think I should try to buy. Yeah, like this is my favorite laundromat in the whole world. Hopefully we don't get kicked out right now, but I absolutely love this laundromat because I think it's the same footprint as mine, but it's laid out better, it's nicer, it's cleaner, and it's like, this is the one I want mine to look like. I'm friends with a guy that knows the owner, and they've got like a Ring biometric lock on here, so his good customers can come in at night and do their laundry. Cool, no one's in here. And like when the guy bought it, he did a lot of the things that I wanted to do with mine. Like he put in ATM, he put in a lot of vending. The last owner had no vending. He's got a Galga machine here. This has come in since I put mine in. It's very interesting. And he's got coin pushers just like mine. He's got the front load Ipsos, which are real similar to mine. But he's got older dryers. These are the original dryers that he had when I looked at it. And the seating, although people will fall asleep on this, I absolutely love the old 70s style seating. And, oh, his coin pusher. He's got another coin pusher. Cool. That's new. This is the exact same coin pusher I have. It has Trump money in it. And he's put in another, he's got a popcorn machine in here. So evidently I'm doing the wrong thing. But like I said, this is what I aspire to have someday. I looked at buying it. They wanted $135,000 for it. And it was just a situation where just couldn't get the money together. He bought it, he has it. Maybe it'll come up for sale in the future and I can take it over. There's another car wash here in town that's for sale that I really want to buy as well. So maybe we'll end up with this one day. I don't know, but I just love how this is set up. There was a big giant farm sink here they've tore out, and I don't know. I really like this laundromat, and it's the only one in town. There's about 2,000 people that live here, and there's just no competition.
What's your conspiracy?
I think this guy watches me on YouTube, because so I'm constantly making upgrades to my laundromat. It might not look like it, but I remember I've got dozens of pictures of this place before the current owner bought it. They've put in this. I knew they put an ATM machine after I put mine in. They've put in 2 vending machines in here, but they've got a second coin pusher. They've got other stuff, and it's just the same stuff that I'm doing, which is hilarious. So I think maybe the owner watches me. And it's nothing against the guy. He's a real nice guy from what I know.
He's trying to one-up you?
I think he's trying to one-up me or copy what I do. I don't compete with this laundromat, so it's not like I'm upset or anything.
Is this in a better area than yours?
Yes, it is. Because I've got several rentals in town, and it's just a small town with only 2,000 people in it. Where my laundromat is, there's 26,000 people in that town, and there's just a lower population here, but there's no competition either. I compete with 4 other laundromats down in Chillicothe where mine is. Quarter in his coin pusher just to show that I was a paying customer. Whoa. Did I win anything? No.
We've been hilarious.
Someone put a token in there and cheated the guy. Poor guy.
This one doesn't look operable yet.
No, it isn't, and that's because this is a coin pusher installed by the operator of the laundromat. That one's a third party because it's the same third party. Was that a secret that I should not have revealed on YouTube? That's not his machine. The other one is. This is $47.80, just in dimes. And then in nickels, we have a little over $15 that goes to the kid upstairs.